Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, checking me out. Uh, man, I just want to just jump straight into it, man. Today was an amazing day. As old Ice Cube would say, today was a good day, And today, man, me and my little dude, we had a blast. We had a blast, man. Had him for a few hours today. Haven't seen him in a few weeks. Seen last time I was with him was over 30 days ago, and it was horrible. It was horrible because I usually try to see him at least every weekend. Being that I stay in a different part of the city and work 5 days a week. But as of what happened to me recently, while I was absent for those, physically absent for those 30 plus days, was I was at a, I'm formerly incarcerated. I was at a reentry program to finish out my term of my prison term, and my last 30 days at this community reentry program, I had got myself into I violated one of the rules of staying at that reentry program, and my consequence was, hey man, for your last 30 days, you can't go anywhere. So I was like, oh man, that's crazy. Well, it didn't it didn't really hurt me and financially anything like that because I was able to still keep my job. I just had to take a leave of absence, but it did hurt my my ego, my spirit. Like it was like, dang, I can't see my little guy. Like I was really looking forward to that, being able to still check him out over the weekends and stuff like that. But that didn't happen. But like physically, but there was still the phone call, the video phone calls and stuff like that, and getting him his food and stuff like that or whatever. He wanted to get some Cheetos and all the other stuff. He's a little dude. He's only 3. He'll be 4 next month. But yeah, no, it was awesome. It was awesome. We enjoyed each other's company today for sure. Just me and him. There was no girls. His mom wasn't around. And you know, so I just had her drop him off. Me and her, we're not together. Haven't been together for a while, but that's near here nor there or whatever. But just me and my little dude, we were hanging out, man. We were enjoying each other's company for sure, for sure. We had some pizza, we had some soda, we were playing video games. He was jumping on trampolines. He was doing little kicks with his legs, little flutter kicks with his legs. He made some new friends, and it was awesome. It was awesome. It was an amazing day. It was a good day, like I said, like Ice Cube would say. Um, and I just want to just share that with y'all. And I know there's a lot of parents out here, men and women. We yearn for that. We want to be with our children. Whether it's we're away from on a job, or in my situation, I was, incarcerated, but at that reentry program, I was outside. I wasn't locked down the whole entire time. I was there for about a year, and I was able to go out and go into the community. That's why it's called a community reentry program, because it gets you back into the community and doing things as as a law abiding, community member, citizen. You want to go out and go to the, DMV and get your license together. You need to go grab your birth certificate. You could go to college. You get you a job. Like you could go volunteer. You can go. So this community reentry program was very, very, very very, very cool. Very, very cool. I got what I can get out of it. There were a bunch of different programs that they offered there, classes that they offered there, like Thinking for a Change, Small Talk for Men, Father to Child, because it's a men's community reentry program. It's just all men. But it was awesome. It was really, really cool. I took full advantage of it. Maybe a little bit too much. That's why they put me on the lockdown for the last 30 days. But uh, it was in all today, like I said, was a very, very good day. His ceremony was done earlier this week at his pre-K. I was able to attend that, and that was great. That was awesome. He was happy, ecstatic to see me. And plus, I had a little surprise for him too. His mama told him. He was like, "Oh, Daddy has a surprise for you," and I was like, "Ah, whatever." I wanted just to show up with it, but whatever. He was happy to see me in a surprise, but I told him it was going to be after the ceremony. Um, but today it was just me and him, and we were, doing our thing today. Like I said, we had pizza, we had soda, we had, running around, basically unlimited amount of credits at the arcade or at Chuck E. Cheese. Uh, and man, he was just loving it. I was just soaking it all up, me and my little guy. But yeah, also like I had said, also too, just to all the parents, who really are, looking forward to that, just whatever situation you may be in, court or dealing with, a very uh a very what word am I looking for? Because I don't want to just use toxic or anything like that. Like a very hard person. And we're just gonna keep it simple. A hard person to deal with. A hard co-parent, whether it's the dad or whether it's the mom, whether it's the grandma or whether it's the, just whoever is, has the sole custody of the child. And they're making it difficult. A difficult person. Yeah, we'll use that. A difficult person. Just hang in there. Just hang in there. You can't change. How though that a person is going to um how they're going to do, or deal with whatever they got to deal with. You can only do you, just continue to work on what you got to work on, you know, and show not only your son, but show yourself or your child. I'm not going to say, I'm thinking of myself, but your child, whether it's a boy or girl, whether it's multiple boys, whether it's multiple girls, whether it's, multiple children, boys and girls, whatever, just do what you got to do as a parent. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a role model. We're role models. They're always going to look up to us. So we have to be at our best at all times. You know what I'm saying? And even if we're not at our best, we need to just be better than what we were doing, especially if we were doing something that we're not too proud of. You know what I mean? Um, so as long as we're not making those same decisions that we did before that landed us in whatever hot water or whatever situation that you're in, you know what I mean, we just learning from those bad decisions that we have made, you know what I mean. Just stick in there, and the child is going to love it. I know I seen it all over my son's face. He was hanging out with, he was like right on me, like I'm just standing there trying to order the pizza and he wants to just come and hang out next to me. I'm like, man, there's all these toys and all this games. He didn't want to do none of that. He wanted to be right with his pops, and I ain't mad at him, but I was loving it. I definitely was loving it. And again, y'all, just, hey, listen, just keep your head up, do what you need to do, get through what you need to get through, and it gets greater later. And on that note, I see y'all when I see y'all.